All right, let's talk about Karine Jean-Pierre, the White House press secretary, and the lies that she propagates all the time. In full transparency, I don't like her. I don't like the fact that she represents an administration that is seeking to deceive us. So therefore, her job is to lie, which, got to give her credit for that she's actually such a good, she's not really a good liar, but she tries, which is, if your job is to lie and you're doing the best you can, at least she's working hard at her job. The fact that she's trying to deceive the American people is one of the biggest annoyances that I have. Oh, I want to interject that what's really cool is I've got an insider within the press pool at the White House. And I found out that they don't like me. I thought that was so cool. I wear that as a badge of honor that there's people, first of all, they actually remember me. It's been a while. The fact that they don't like me just shows you that I'm not the mainstream media. And, it's kind of nice to be known, with people that are up there. And I did find out that most of them are freelance, which is interesting. But thank you for noticing me, guys. I appreciate it. All right, let's start off with the president's health. But first, I want to interject something that one of the viewers had given me feedback. They didn't like me clipping myself into the clip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the entire clip. I'll refrain from commenting. But what I'll do is I'll put supers on it. So when she lies, it will say lies, lies right in front of her face. And, you'll see many of them because that's what she does. And then I'll comment on all of her kind of snarky replies and answers. So let's take a look at the clip.
Thank you, Karine. About the president's health, more broadly than the doctor's report and so on that we're waiting for, can you speak to how confident he is that he's going to feel up to it? He's going to feel good getting up in the morning to do this job, very grueling job, not just today or even in 2 years to finish out this term, but in 6 years from today, when he would obviously be 86.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, well.
Yes, you asked me if he's going to be up to it. Yes.
No. I asked, does he express how confident he is?
I mean, look, we get this question a lot, as you all know. And here's what I have to say about it. The president always says this, which is watch him. And if you watch him, you'll see that he has a grueling schedule that he keeps up with, that sometimes some of us are not able to keep up with. He was State of the Union. I believe he spent 90 minutes speaking to the congressional members in front of him, to the American people. After that, he spent an hour shaking hands and saying hello and greeting the congressional members and their guests. And this is a president that works day in and day out, in a grueling fashion, with a grueling schedule, and delivers. And let's not forget, it is interesting that we get this question about this president, who has had one of the most historical presidency in his first 2 years than any other president, almost any other president. And you think about the historic pieces of legislation that he's gotten through that many have made jokes about. You think about the bipartisan legislation, bipartisan infrastructure law that, the last guy joked every week that it was infrastructure week and could not get it done. Many presidents tried to get that done and could not get it done. And this president did it in a bipartisan way. And there's a long list that I can go through. I know you guys don't want to hear me go through them at this time, but we have talked about them over and over and over again. And it is surprising that we get this question when you look at this record of this president and what he has been able to do and deliver for the American people. And he is able to do that because he's clearly capable on so many ways and so many levels, and he's going to continue to do that in the years coming.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you. There is an interagency.
What did she say? He's diligently working. I'm paraphrasing, but he works really hard. Well, this is from May 22nd, 2023, and it's the White House press pool reports this. He's taken 256 days off. Let me repeat that again. This is from May 22nd, 2023. How many months ago is that? It's been a while. 256 days. So it's probably close to 300 now, maybe more. The man's every weekend. I almost got run over by his entourage. His what's it called? It's not a convoy. It's not a carpool. It is a motorcade. Yeah, I'll leave that all in. I'm not going to edit that out. The motorcade came cruising. We were going back from Jersey to D.C. It's when I was living in D.C. And all of a sudden, these cars were flying by. I mean, they were flying like twice the speed we were going, and we were doing about 70. They were cruising. And I'm screaming to Sarah, quick, Sarah, video it. And we cut the tail end of it. She's a little slow, but of course she's faster than me because she's young. He's been on vacation a lot. He goes to Delaware where he lives. He resides because he kind of resides in the White House. He goes to Delaware almost every weekend, and then he's doing all these other vacations. He's the most vacationed president in history, I think. And of course, the media is not reporting it. If President Trump went out and played golf once, they're like, oh, he's vacationing all the time. Again, the bias of the mainstream media. Notice that she said the other guy, referring to President Trump and his administration. Whoopi Goldberg does the same thing. I guess they must have all did a powwow and said, let's not say the name Trump because we're helping him out, which they did. The amount of hate that they have for the man actually helped him in 2016, and it's helping again. So you can see they're trying to dial it back a little bit with the Trump derangement syndrome. They still hate him, but they're all trying to calm down. Let's not mention his name, give him free media. That's what's going on, I believe. Okay, she used the word historic. He's a historic president. Only historic thing I see about him is he's worse than Jimmy Carter, and he's the most dementia-ridden president, I believe, of the United States. We've never looked weaker. I don't often see them, but I do see Biden supporters. They're not running around with Biden t-shirts being proud of it. But when I see them and I approach them, very, very friendly, because I really want to know, I ask them, give me one good thing that President Biden has done. Just one. Give me one thing. It's not gas prices. It's not the pullout of Afghanistan. It's not the fact that we're not drilling and gas prices are 3 times what they were with President Trump. This goes on and on. We looked so weak. Now we've got 2 wars, maybe more that they're not promoting in Africa. There's a lot of death in Africa that's going on. It goes unreported because mainstream media doesn't find it interesting. I don't know why. It's absolutely shocking what's happening in Africa, but I digress. They don't answer. They walk away or they get annoyed and they divert to a different question or they attack President Trump. But no one has told me one thing. So if you're somebody that totally disagrees with me, first of all, I appreciate that you're on watching these videos. And we're obviously starting to grow more because now it was a nice month and a half of the honeymoon, you guys being so grateful that I'm back, and it's meant a lot to me. And it still does, because people are still discovering that we're back because we're not in the algorithms yet, but we're going to keep pumping. But the people that are really hostile towards me, I'm going to keep your view up or your post up, and I'm going to respond to it respectfully. And I hope, hopefully in kind, you'll respond, because oftentimes when I respond to these hostile posts, they disappear. I don't ban them. They just disappear themselves because they don't want to deal with me directly. But if you go and do any hate towards any of the viewers, or attacking anybody that's in this forum, this MustangMedic video forum, you're going to get banned. Just a heads up. Don't go after anybody that's in here. I'm okay with being a target, but don't go after the viewers, because this is I'm going to say a safe place. It's kind of funny. Safe places are so, they segregate people, but this is a safe place for dialogue, learning. We can all learn from each other. Even if you completely disagree with the messages that I put out, you're not a conservative, you're liberal, you love Biden, you think Biden's a great guy, but you're watching, I appreciate you. Let's talk. Let's listen to each other, because we can learn from each other. I'm not saying that I've got all the right answers. Lord knows I don't. I'm human, and nor do you. So let's keep that in mind. Thank you for watching. I appreciate all of you. We've done some live streams that have been pretty deep. I did a life story live stream, which goes 2 hours and 20 minutes. So if you care, you can get a cup of coffee and some popcorn and sit down, and it's longer than a typical movie. I think it's interesting, though. Of course, it's my life. Of course, I'm going to think it's interesting, but I've had some ups and downs. And also, the Roger Stone interview is up. You got to check that out. I'll link it in the back of this video. And also, the World War III video with Jamie Walden is getting a lot of attention, a lot of viewable hours. He's riveting. It's one of the best interviews I've done next to Roger Stone because, again, I don't do much talking. I didn't do much talking with Roger, and I didn't do much talking with James. They've got a ton of wisdom and information, and they were willing to share it with me, and I'm sharing it with you. William Wieting reporting on the press pool. Hi, guys. I'm back. Sincerely, I appreciate you watching. God bless.